you. They deserve to the last person in the alphabet, so thanks for your enthusiastic welcome. Women and men of UVA's classes of 13 and 14, supportive families, friends, colleagues, welcome, and thank you all for being here. Every single person here has in some way contributed to bringing these wonderful folks to this place, and we thank you for that. Your spouses, your significant others, your children, your parents, all have been with you every step of the way, as have your faculty. When you talk to me about them, and of course I get a wide range of comments, you're a most candid group. Actually, I've often said that, but you have tipped the candor scale with this group, which I love most days. As I share with my fellow BIS staff members, I'd always rather know than not know what you're thinking. When I hear you talk about the faculty, I hear some things that I'll share with all of you. They really understand us. I'm pushed and stretched all the time. I thought I was a pretty good writer before I got here. I've always been afraid and embarrassed to write my thoughts, but now I know I can do it. I'm amazed at how hard he works for every single class and all week long in between classes. I had no idea how hard it was to work in groups and get anything accomplished. I now know, and I may never work in a group again. We know that they believe in us, even when we lose confidence. It means so much to us that as UVA students who don't take classes on grounds, we have faculty that travel far every week to be with us. Values us highly. And my personal favorite, he makes me think so hard my head hurts after class. Faculty, would you all please stand so we can thank you? And by the way, faculty marshals, you don't need to stand there the whole time. If you want to, fine. They like to post. You see these folks often. You're also surrounded by people who support you that you don't see every day. The School of Continuing Professional Studies Administration and many others at this university. The BIS Academic Oversight Committee. And in particular, the terrific people with whom I have the opportunity to work every day. The people who make your life richer and easier, and also mine. Susie Dugald, Susan Pott, Joy Sable from Charlottesville, and from Tidewater, Penny Lewis, from Northern Virginia, Bernadette Black, and now from Richmond, Angie Wilkinson. I not only appreciate these folks, I'm inspired by them. BIS is for the, quote, non-traditional student. And there are lots of ways to describe what the non-traditional student is. But perhaps most simply, it means all the same academic expectations as everybody else who walked the lawn today, but with probably 4 times the complications in getting here. For example, stand up if you have had jobs outside of the home while taking your BIS degree. Yep. You can sing a long time. This is a good exercise. And for how many of you have you worked 35 to 40 hours a week at those jobs? Anybody have children? Grandchildren? Grandchildren? Oh. Has anyone gotten married or had children while in BIS? Pretty impressive. Grandparents or children or grandchildren rather in your care? Grandchildren or parents in your care? Anybody start college, oh, let's say more than 10 years ago? 15? 20, 30, 40. How about travel? Anybody have to travel more than 20 miles to get to class? 30? 40? We'll leave it at that. That's pretty darn impressive. We need to bring more programs around the state. Looking ahead, anybody headed off to graduate school? All right. And also, anyone currently or formerly serving the military? But the publications are not all that define you. It is an attitude, it's a will, it's a drive, it's a commitment for completing what, for a world of reasons, you didn't have a chance to complete earlier. I've been particularly impressed with how many of you have done things far beyond what you thought you could do when you started. And that goes far beyond taking classes and being successful. Honor committee, student government, university clubs and arts organizations, fraternities, who would have thought? J-term and study abroad. And now your presence on the University Judiciary Committee. That is a major accomplishment and significant one for this program and school. You also, as have your predecessors, helped inform our work in sustaining and enhancing a liberal arts education that aims to prepare you as critical and analytical thinkers and creative problem solvers, clear and cogent writers and presenters of your ideas, people who are ready to engage in open and respectful discourse, people who have a proclivity to leadership and service to others, and, as Anne-Marie Plunkett comments at the close of capstone presentations, become your own teachers and teachers of others. You're part of a university that recognizes the importance of your being here and the contribution you make to the university. You're also part of a school that has always known that. Dean Billy Canady, who joined our school in October 2008, is an enthusiastic, highly energetic, and proud supporter of BIS. He's constantly offering encouragement. He always finds ways to attend BIS events. He's interested in your work and in who you are. What you may not know is that the Dean has had a distinguished career in the pre-collegiate education world prior to coming to the University of Virginia. He served as a superintendent in Hampton Roads and in Chesterfield County, during which time he was honored as Virginia's Superintendent of the Year. And immediately prior to joining SCPS, he was Superintendent of Public Instruction for the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Chief Executive Officer for the Virginia Department of Education. Currently, he serves on the Virginia Board of Education. Please join me in thanking Billy Canady and welcoming him to the podium.
We have the opportunity when introducing others to a special ceremony like this, do we have a chance to say, will the spouses of our graduates please stand? Spouses, please stand. Of our graduates. Will the children of our graduates please stand? Children of our graduates. Will the moms and dads who choose to stand, stand, and those who choose to sit and wave, please do so. And for all of those who are cheerleaders of our graduates and believers in them when they didn't believe in themselves, please stand. I want to first of all introduce some of the people on my staff who are behind the scenes that always kind of help to make things work. From the Dean's office, Jane Paluda, Donna Plethora, And I think the rest of them are either at Zemer or had to leave early, but I want you to join me in thanking them for their contributions to our work. Today I'd like to talk to you about unfinished business that's partially completed. Many of you started this journey 20, 30 plus, Jerry, years ago, and you weren't encouraged to continue. You were really encouraged pretty much to say, well, just get over it. But fortunately, you listened to a different voice. Sometimes it was your own, sometimes it may have been a spouse, it may have been a coworker, but you listened to another voice that said, this work is yet to be done. It's unfinished. And by that I mean is that you realized that a goal and a dream that you had was still possible, but you just didn't know if there was a place for you to make a pathway to get there. Today is a punctuation mark, not a period. It's a comma that says, this part of my life's journey I have completed. And I want you to know how proud we are that you represent not only that effort, but you're a model for so many others. You're a model for your children who might think, I don't know if I can do this. You don't have to tell them. You can just show you the diploma and say, it's a pathway for you too. For a spouse or a loved one or a friend who says, I just don't know if it's possible for me. You are a reminder for them each day that dreams deferred don't mean dreams not realized. It just means it takes more time. It's unfinished business with a comma that you have another chapter of your life to begin. There's a quote from a person that used to be a former president of the Atlanta Board of Education, and he was a pastor, and of course he was president of Emory, of a college as well as Morehouse. His name is Dr. Benjamin Mays. I quote him often because it reminds me of the journey that each of you make and the journey that you inspire others to make. He talks about it in a very, very short presentation he spoke to a group of educators and probably people like you. He says, it isn't a calamity not to achieve a dream. It is a calamity not to dream. It isn't a disgrace not to reach the stars. It is a disgrace to have no stars to reach for. Not failure, but low aim is the same. I hope you understand that while it was hard work, you never ever gave up on what the dream was. Even if you didn't get there in 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years, or 6, or in Jerry's case, 30 plus years. You decided that the dream was still worth pursuing. For all of those family members who at times wondered, I just don't know if this is going to work, I'm glad you kept that message to yourself, because these loved ones of yours are reminders that while you can't see the finish line, there is one. And you encourage them to get there. To our young people who sometimes want it right now, and if it doesn't come right now, they don't want it, I hope you all remind them that it's life's journey. It's not the 18-year journey, the 4-year journey, or the 6-year journey. It's a life journey, a lifetime journey, a journey that really does inspire you to learn forever. I said this is an unfinished dream, comma, because it's the next chapter in your lives that I expect you to fulfill. One is that you go back to your communities, your places of work, to your families, that you find a way to give back in service in ways you didn't do before. Because your pathway here was on the shoulders of others who thought it was possible, and they couldn't be here today. For those who wish they had started down this journey and didn't, you now become their heroes. So I hope you go back to your communities and find a way to give back. Not for money, but because it's the right thing to do. I also hope that you'll find a way to give back to our school in a way that really can allow us to serve others. In 2015, in January, this whole service of non-traditional adult learners will experience its 100th year celebration. 100 years of adults like you saying, I just don't know if it's possible. Now, we didn't have the degree then, but people didn't believe that it was possible then. We plan to not only make certain that this legacy that you're a part of continues, but we want you to do as well. I'm going to charge the class of 2014, the last class of the first century, to make a gift to our school in the way that you deem appropriate, so the next class of the next century can realize they have a big responsibility to fulfill to carry this on. I hope today that you will not be like some undergraduates that you have to remind them to hug someone. In this age, you realize hugging is just part of what you do, because you don't know if you'll see that loved one again. We understand that the moment is more powerful than just the journey. So take time to hug a son, a daughter, hug a spouse, hug a friend, a mom, a dad, a cheerleader. Find a way to say thank you and a hug and a kiss. And then say, but this is the comma in my journey. May God bless each of you. Do good, do it everywhere, and continue your journey. Thank you. Someone of your class to speak on behalf of your class. It's a great honor because they understand, again, how important this journey has been. And this year, we're fortunate to have another one of your colleagues to speak on behalf of the class as a student speaker. It's Laurie Axford. Before Laurie comes up, it was very powerful when I met Laurie. Laurie said to me, you know, I don't need this degree to advance my career. I really don't need it to do the things that I love right now. I did it because it matters to me. And this university matters to me. So I'd like for you to join me in welcoming your speaker, Laurie Axford.
Many pockets in our roads, so it's a little crumpled, so I apologize. Good afternoon, and congratulations. Wahoo wah! Wahoo wah! Thank you. I want you to think about today. Take a look around. Today is full of emotion. It's full of laughter, and maybe even just a few tears, right? After reading about 100 books or so, thousands of pages, 50 papers I calculate, maybe 30 tests, 20 or so presentations, numerous classes, maybe a few all-nighters, and of course, the capstone project, you have joined an elite bunch. You are now an alumni of the University of Virginia. But I also want you to think about another time. I want you to close your eyes for just a minute and think about orientation day, or that very first class when you walked in that classroom. Does today feel different? On that first night or in orientation, you were probably a little intimidated by the professor. Sorry, guys. And all the books you needed to buy, or that syllabus that just went on and on and on. And you may have thought, I can't do this. But you did do it. And you have done it. And you have changed. You see, that's what learning is all about. Change. Just the mere act of learning changes everything. You think differently, which causes you to act differently, which causes you to be different. Now Jefferson, who by last count has been referenced about 10 or 15 times over this weekend, believed that learning was a lifelong journey, that it never stopped. I asked you to share that with others now. Your experiences here may have put you on the path to more education, a better job, or simply the satisfaction of completing something that you started so many years ago. Continue to encourage others. Tell them about your experiences here at this university and the changes that you have seen in yourself and others. And let them know, just as others have rooted for you, that you are rooting for them. I have two quick stories to share with you, and then I'll sit down, I promise. Because I'm the only thing that's keeping you from these diplomas. So, when I started in the program in August of 2011, Dean Kennedy was in the audience. Now, I had no idea who this guy was until he got up to speak. He talked about how he had looked at our biographies that we had written and the jobs that we had. We were businessmen and businesswomen. We were moms, dads, teachers, students' aides. There were lots of different jobs that we represented by being there. And he also shared the philosophy behind the BIS program, that the BIS staff understands that life happens. Dean Kennedy went on to tell us that this program is designed for us to be successful. Dean Kennedy, thank you for those comments. I haven't forgotten them. Thank you to you, Donna, and your team. You all do a great job. The second story happened just last year. I had the opportunity to hear Teresa Sullivan, the president of this great university, speak. Now, President Sullivan has a very, very busy schedule. But there she was on a Saturday morning speaking to BIS students at the BIS orientation. She came in, much like Dean Kennedy did, very unassuming, sat down at a table and started talking to the new students about their experiences. When she was introduced, the students were told that Dr. Sullivan had a choice that day and had decided to spend time with the BIS students. President Sullivan got up and she said, "Yes, I did have a choice today, but so did you." And what Dr. Sullivan said is very true. We did have a choice. We chose the University of Virginia, and here we are on the lawn. Enjoy today. Thank you for being here. Today is a part of your educational experience, and you had a choice. I'm glad you chose to be here. Thank you. Thank you, Lori. In the 15-year history of BIS, you have become known for your impressive commitment to your education, for the community you have built, and for the academic accomplishments far beyond what most people thought possible. Today, we have the opportunity to honor those among you who have earned the program's highest academic achievement. The Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies Outstanding Capstone Project Award is made possible through the generosity of Stephen T. Thornton. He's professor of physics and former chair of the BIS Academic Oversight Committee. He has given abundantly of his time since and even before BIS began. We thank Stephen Thornton for that. This year, the Capstone Project Award Committee reported their decision with these comments. Yet again, we are so impressed with the imagination and the high-quality work of all of these projects. You've come a long, long way in development of research skills. Anne-Marie Plunkett and John Corlett, as well as the full BIS faculty, are to be commended. Great work. So, among many excellent capstone projects, the recipient of the award for her work, The Evolution of Legal Precedents in United States Genetic Patent Cases Over the Past Century, is Marie Fleming. And we should acknowledge her capstone mentor, Mr. Bill Welty. The second recognition today is for individual achievement, particularly the highest GPA earned in BIS. This year, it is a 4.0, which means throughout this entire trek to degree completion, there was no grade lower than an A. Think about it. This year's highest GPA achievement is awarded to Tim Wagner. And by the way, those plaques hang on the wall, but enjoy them for today. Class of summer, fall 13 and spring 14, we will ask you now to come forward to receive your diplomas. And as you do so, and I know you practice this and know exactly what you're doing, but do stand for just a moment with the dean and candidate should anyone want to take your photograph or both over there. So, first group.
Nope. Go on.
Marie Katrine Fleming. Tabitha Verna Ford. Stephanie Kathleen. In May 2002, 3 women, all moms, walked the lawn as the first BIS graduates. 12 years of capstone projects later, there are now over 500 of you. We congratulate you on your accomplishments. We admire you for facing up to personal, professional, and educational challenges and meeting them. We wish you the very best that life and your endeavors can offer you. And we challenge you to make use of the fullest of your talents, your skills, and all that UVA has enabled you to find within yourselves. To serve others with your intellect and with your passion. As a legendary cellist, Mstislav Rostropovich said, when asked, "Maestro, what is your most favorite piece?" "It is the one I'm playing at the moment, or I shouldn't be playing it." Something for us there. Friends, your learning is not over, but hopefully it has been ignited in this place. We look forward to your being proud alumni and remaining actively engaged in this university, this school, and this program. We thank you for what you have brought to the university, to our program, and to one another. Every day, whether in class, in casual conversation, your life experiences, your insights, your caring for one another, your willingness to take risks, and your unalterable drive to the finish line inspire us every day. I cannot say that strongly enough. My personal, heartfelt, and abiding thanks to all of you. Don't let us forget about you. I'm sure you won't. We have just one more request of you before you part for your family festivities, and that is, we ask you all to gather on the pavilion steps for, of course, a class picture. And you also, before you leave, we have a booklet for you, which includes statements about you from your capstone mentors. Ah, it's a little special treat. So, will you, before you come forward here, we ask you to stand, turn, and face your well-wishers.
here.